September 11th, 2001, Charlie Kirk, the Epstein list, the genocide in Palestine, all has one common denominator. Money, capital, and influence has programmed us all to be fighting each other through left and right, through black and white, through politics and nonsense. Charlie Kirk, regardless of what your political beliefs are, Charlie Kirk was assassinated for free speech. And not only was he assassinated for free speech, it was done as a Freemason ritual. Immediately after he said gang violence, he was taken in the throat. It was a professional hit. I've seen the video where there's a sniper on the rooftop, all blacked out. And this is what they do, because now they're going to paint this as a crazy trans liberal assassinating Charlie Kirk because he's a radical Republican. And this is where it's absolutely ridiculous, because Israel literally funds both sides of everything. And they've done this since the beginning of time. It goes back to the Khazarian Empire. This goes back to Genghis Khan. And there is a literal genocide going on in Palestine right now. Any members of Congress, the Senate, any members that have dual citizenship between here and Israel should be held for treason. They are not in it for us. And any politician that's supporting this genocide, they are not in it for us. AIPAC has paid off a lot of politicians. A lot of politicians. You see what's going on in Nepal right now? How about the Congo? They're literally trying to get rid of social media apps and social media because they don't want the youth organizing. There's uprisings happening. Charlie Kirk is a Christian, and Israel has called for the mass slaughter of Christians. And they've done this numerous times throughout the course of history. And this is not meant to be divisive rhetoric. This is meant to be truth. And we got to stop hiding behind falsities. The amount of people that are paid informants out here trying to persuade the public and give social influence is absolutely wild. It's literally controlled by the same people. The elite ruling class funds both sides of it. And they've done this throughout the course of history. History repeats. 9/11, they wanted a false flag event. They wanted a Pearl Harbor-like event. And it was operated and conducted by Mossad as an inside hit. You can look it up yourself. 9/11, the towers coming down, that was a controlled demolition. They took out an insurance policy against terrorism right before this happened. And the owner, who went and had breakfast every morning in the Twin Towers, just happened to not be there that day because he had a dermatologist appointment. People were detained that had direct links to Mossad. They were detained and released, okay? They went on air in Israel and talked about how they were here to document the event. These people worship Satan. They conduct rituals. This is Babylonian black magic. This is Babylonian black magic. The Hollywood elites have all been infiltrated. Child trafficking, kidnapping, there's vampire parasites that exist. This is all real, and there is a legitimate genocide going on in Gaza right now. I believe that Charlie Kirk was he wanted to change his mind on his output and where he stood with Israel. But there was also reports released that he was in fear that Israel is going to end his life. There's all sorts of content being pushed out from the last couple months of where he's become more critically outspoken of Israel. And again, when Charlie Kirk was unalived, it happened immediately after he said gang violence. This was meant to send a message. This is Freemason ritual. And what people aren't even talking about is that yesterday, the Republicans voted down releasing the Epstein list. And only 2 Republicans voted for it, one being Rand Paul from Kentucky. But this is all a distraction, distracting of ions, distracting of energy, right? I talk about this all the time. This is all energy. This is all fear-based mongering and control. They don't want the Epstein list released. Release it. Release it. We know 9/11 was an inside job, bro. Admit it. Admit it. Stop the war in Palestine that you are committing war atrocities, bro. War atrocities. When I was in Afghanistan, we had rules of engagement. Rules of engagement. And there are soldiers, sailors, Marines that all got hemmed up and are sitting seriously in the brig right now for stopping rapes happening in overseas. Like legitimately. Because whether people want to believe it or not, children get assaulted in these places. But if you've never been there before, you're not going to know. You're not going to know. But soldiers have literally tried to stop the assault of women and children. But because it goes against what the United States Army and the government tells us that we have to do for rules of engagement, they'll get locked up because they're supposed to just let them do it. You're not even supposed to do it because that's part of their culture. This whole thing is all screwed up. How is it that our soldiers who go to fight all these wars, our bravest, sent off as cannon fodder, they had to follow rules of engagement? Absolutely wild to me. Absolutely wild. We need to come together, y'all. We most certainly need to come together. This is a we versus them. We. Me and you. An information war. And we win this by standing in unity and acknowledging the threat that's here. I love y'all. Stay wild.